and welcome to the Kathara Confessions with me, Amoré. I am a woman who helps you align to who you truly are so that you can align to your dream man. That is my story, and that's what I want to share about in these episodes. And today's episode is going to be a little bit different. I'm just starting it off with where I'm feeling inspired and what I feel like I want to share about. For the last few days, I've had some clients come to me, and I've had some women come to me, and friends as well, who talk to me about their relationships and talk to me about what's going on in their life. And the one message that I'm hearing a lot is, I don't trust myself. And it's not directly said as that. It's more said in the sense of, I don't know what is my intuition, what is my gut, and how to make the right decision or know that I'm making the right decision about something. And this can be in business, this can be in friendships, this can be in a relationship. It's just like, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, and I'm feeling stressed and I'm feeling overwhelmed, and there's so many different choices that I can make, and I don't want to make the wrong choice. I don't want to make a decision about something and then it negatively influences my life. And I have heard this so many times, and I just have to tell you, there's a truth to this that you have to understand. So basically, I want to start by telling a story. Now, this takes me back to 2021 when me and my partner, we basically were not together yet. So we met in 2016 and we got separated for 5.5 years. And I'll tell our story in great lengths, and I'll tell it probably many more times, but for now I'll keep it brief. By this time, it was about August 2021, and I remember thinking, like, I don't know what to do. I am so lost in this decision, and I feel like I'm making such a big risk, and I'm taking such a big risk with this guy because we've been talking on and off very little for those years that we were not in contact, but we never actually gave our relationship a go. And at this time, to give you context, I was living in Bali with my dogs, and I'd lived there now for 2 years at that time, and I was broke and trying to do my best as to like make a living for myself, make a name for myself. I was just getting started in photography, and I was working at a rehab at the time, and I was just hustling, like really just trying to get by because I wanted to live a life on my terms, and I wanted to do things my way, and I just wasn't going to settle for average. And I remember that I just really was so confused and so scared because we started chatting in end of like July 2021 to August 2021, and I was working a part-time job. So this was the photography and the rehab work was like up until that point, and then I got this temp job, which I was like, amazing, I can go on yachting and I can just make fucking some good money. And went there, put the dogs in daycare, and basically like was ready to like sail away for a few months and just try and make some money. So then Martin and I started chatting, and he said, let's give this a go. And I was so confused because what if it doesn't work out? What if he just leaves me on my ass and then I'm in some foreign country or wherever? Because he said at the time, he's a captain, I'm gonna go on holiday for 2 months, do you want to come with me? And I was like, sure, but then money, and how am I gonna, like, where then, and what then, and how, and like all these other questions running through my head, and I just didn't know, like, is this the right thing to do? Is this wrong to do? Is this freaking crazy? Am I completely out of my mind? But I had to really lean in and figure out what it is that I want. And I was busy manifesting about the type of life I want, how I want my life to feel, look, smell, taste, everything. Like, I was so specific in how I wanted my life to show up. And I just knew that I had to take a risk because I have been obsessed with this man for the entire time that I had since I'd met him. And if I didn't take this chance, I could possibly risk never having this opportunity again. And although I had no money and I had no surety and I had no like reason to know that this man isn't like out of his mind, because he said to me, all right, babe, you fly over to Miami, which I'll fly you over to Miami, and come here, and then we'll go on a holiday, and then we'll see if this works out. So obviously I thought to myself, well, if this doesn't work out, then obviously I'm stuck to where I was with no money, and I've spent all my money on this lavish holiday that I made in yachting like the months before, and then I'm stuck in Bali with no career to go to and just all from scratch again. So I was absolutely petrified. Like I have such big abandonment issues and such big trust issues. Like, I'd been lied to by the people I trust in my life all my life, and I'd constantly been questioning my own sense of sanity in these situations, and I've constantly been told, you can trust me, I'm telling you the truth, and then boom, lies. So I really was scared that he was just sending me so many false promises and promising me the world, and then with no, like, what if this doesn't work out? Anyway, so how I came back to the making the right decision and knowing if you can trust your own intuition, it really comes back down to like, what is it that you want? And if you are not clear on this, there could be many things going on for you if you don't know what it is that you want. There could be lack of clarity, there could be uncertainty, there could be chaos in your life, there could be like feeling stuck, indecision. Maybe you're in a period of transition where you're going from one thing to the next, like maybe where I was at the time, and everything can just feel super overwhelming and super confusing, and you wouldn't know where to go, what to do, who to trust, whose opinions to follow. And especially if you're on a path where you are living life on your own terms and you're destined to like pave a way forward that feels good to you, there's probably very little people that's gonna know what advice to give to you, and there's probably going to be very little people in your close environment and close proximity to know what to say to you. So it's so imperative that you have a strong core and strong foundation of self-trust and your intuition and your inner guidance and your inner alignment, because if you don't, then you can be very easily influenced and easily maybe manipulated and told things that are from people that you trust that mean well, because they really mean well, but they have their own perspectives and their own limitations and their own belief systems that could influence you and your life, and maybe don't have the same, they probably don't have the same values or morals and understandings of life as you. So you have to be careful. But with that said, that is really why knowing how to trust your intuition and leaning into this is so important, and knowing what you want really starts with that. And I really did a practice of like really getting super clear of what it is that I want my life to look like, what it is that I want my life to smell like, how does it feel, how does it what do I embody, who am I, like how do I carry myself, how do people respond to me, what is the imprint that I have in people's lives, how do I make people feel. And I had a very big vision, or not big vision, just a very clear vision on where I wanted to go, and it was opposite of where I was. And this was now way back in 2019, but when this happened in 2021, I knew that I was stuck. I knew that I wasn't making any money. I knew that I've overcome a lot at that point. I got sober and I just quit smoking after 17 years of daily smoking. I was busy overcoming my eating disorder at the time. So I was like, I really had done a lot of progress. And I really was making headway. So I knew that I was able to rely on myself and trust myself for making decisions and goals that I was going to stick to and intentions that I was going to stick to, because I'd already proven to myself that I can do hard things. And once you start to gain that little bit of discipline and that momentum of like setting an intention and grabbing it, setting an intention and grabbing it, and you keep going and aiming for bigger goals and bigger dreams, when it comes to these decisions that feel crazy and absolutely uncertain and like a big dream, you really come back to that inner alignment and inner self-trust of like, can I, even if this goes apeshit, can I know and rely on myself that I'm going to be able to give myself out? And the one thing that I would say, if you're not sure how to cultivate self-trust or how to know what you want, like the easiest practice you can do is come back to your breath. The easiest thing you can do is incorporate a daily meditation into your life where you can start to build discipline, build self-trust, because discipline is the biggest act of self-love that you can actually give yourself. And just by showing up for 5 minutes or 10 minutes every day and just getting quiet, getting still, making time for yourself, one, you're going to build resilience, you're going to build discipline, you're going to build self-trust because you've set an intention and you're able to get there. You're going to build a way better alignment with who you are, because when we get still and we can sit with ourselves in stillness, that is, for most people, the most uncomfortable feeling in the world. We are not taught how to meditate. We are not taught how to be still. We are not taught how to rest. So in of itself, just coming to a place of stillness, you are doing something that most people are not doing, which sets you apart from most people in the world, which is going to give you results that are different from most people in the world. And that's what you want, no? Is you want to be able to cultivate that inner alignment. And by getting quiet for 5 minutes a day, it's going to feel challenging. It's going to feel uncertain. You're not going to know if you're doing it right. You're not going to know if it's working. You're not going to know if all the things, all the questions that's going to be in your mind, you're just not going to know. But by keep showing up to that is going to build the strongest foundation for you to know, and that the next time when something happens and you're unsure, what's my intuition, what's my gut, am I making the right decision, you know what to do. You know you can sit in silence. You know you can take a moment, come back to your breath, and in those moments of stillness and quiet, that's usually when we gain the most clarity. That's when I've gained the most clarity. That's when my answers come. That's when I can take a moment and pray to God and whoever God is for you, or your understanding of God or the universe or consciousness, whatever your understanding is. Those are the moments that I connect to that truth within me. And when I'm connected to that truth, that's when the clarity comes, and that's when the alignment comes, and that's when the answers come. And that's my biggest hope, that you can find some sort of practice for yourself to get that. And if you do struggle and this is something that you're not sure how to implement in your life, then join us. I'm busy building a beautiful community called Kathara, and within it we have a free portal where I share some fun resources every month from other yoga teachers and people I'm bringing on board that are just making it the most amazing community that's working towards calling in your lover, calling in the one for you, calling in your soulmate, but bringing you to true alignment and true fulfillment within yourself, so that you're at an energetic equal vibration of your match much faster, so that you don't have to spend years like me becoming an equal match to my partner. It can just be so much faster for you. I'm launching the membership in a few months, which we will have a program where you can go through it, where you will learn so much more about yourself and how you love and what your patterns are. But also, if you just want to work with me and you just want to have one-on-ones and really see where am I stuck, where am I holding myself back, what are the beliefs and limitations and things that I have right now, how can I connect to my truth, how do I know if I'm doing the practices right, that's what I'm here for. So if you need any support, any help, I really am there. But I hope that this little bit has given you some hope and inspiration, that there is a way for you to have this at any time, always within you. All right, lots of love.